going on, folks? Here we are on another episode of Real Estate and Sneakers, two things that I love to talk about. My name is Femi the Agent.
I'm Femi the Realtor.
And today, we're going to be talking about some Adidas. I know you guys think I only wear Jordans, only talk about Jordans and Nikes, but we talk about everything. So this sneaker here is the Adidas Extra Butter collaboration. Really dope sneaker. Very, very comfortable. They don't look like Adidas, which is what I like about it. And like I said, very comfortable. They have some great material here. So anybody that can look and see the sneaker, if you were, my old school heads, this looks like the Coogee sweater, the material here. So really dope sneaker. I like it. These are one of mine that I pulled out of the stash. So I'd suggest try to see if you can get yourself a pair. And my son will let you know what's going on with real estate.
Yes, so right now with the rates for a 30-year fix, it's a little over 6.25. For a 15-year fix, it's a little under 6%. So great time to buy, still great time to sell. Rates are coming down a little bit from, what they were previously. Amazing time to sell now. We actually just sold something almost 200,000 over asking a little less than a week ago, and still an amazing time to buy. A lot of people are focused on closing out the year strong, spending time with their family for the holidays, spending money on gifts and other allocations. So still a great time to, beat out and not have to do the whole bidding war situation and that type of ordeal. So still an amazing time to invest and, get on the market and never feel like you're too late and, you can't start. So,
Definitely, just like my son said, now is a great time. If you guys want any information about that, you can reach out to either one of us. But without further ado, we have someone that I've known for 20 years almost.
I met you when I was 9 years old.
9, right. You're 9, you were 9, I was 10, right. And here we are 20 years later. She is the co-host of a show on WBLS. She has a show on Sirius Satellite Radio, and now is the co-host of Regis and Kelly.
Kelly and Mark, I'm the announcer.
Kelly and Mark, I'm sorry, and she's the announcer. When I thought I hustled, folks, when I had to run through her resume, even though I know her personally, I'm like, man, I got to get me another job. My friend, someone that I consider a friend, Deja Vu. What's up, man?
Hey, y'all. Hello.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Nothing much.
On?
First and foremost, thank you very much for sitting down with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
We love and we appreciate you. With everything that you have going on, what is a typical day for you? What does that look like?
A day for me looks like really, really rough. Okay, no, it's fun. We're on the grind, okay? For real. I say this is grinding season, and a little bit, I'm just going to relax into that. So, you know how you're revving up, and then you coast?
You coast a little bit.
Yes. So that's what I'm doing. But I get up at 3:30 in the morning. I do some recording in my home studio. Then I leave there, go into the studio for Live with Kelly and Mark, do some pre-records, do that show live there. Then sometimes we do some after work taping.
Right.
Then I drive from there to the WBLS studios, and
Mm-hmm.
where we are right now, part of our studio. And then I also, after that, have voiceover sessions. And I have my nationally syndicated show that I do of prep for. And that's with a whole other company. And then I go home and hang out with hubby Lish. Hey, hubby Lish.
So, hubby.
If it's been during football season, I'm all by myself. Put the hat, man.
Well, I mean, that's part of the time. Like, he kind of preps you for it to be like, honey, this is the time that I need for myself. So,
I'm like, help me. Should I go upstairs? That would be great. What? All I know is pass interference. I try and throw some football terms out. I got me a glittery Dallas Cowboys outfit, so I can be like, hey, hubby.
nice.
Still ain't paying no attention, but shouts to the Cowboys.
Shouts to the Cowboys.
Winning.
Shouts to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I like the Cowboys. I think I'm not a big football fan. I'm more basketball than anything. But I like the Cowboys. I think I just always. This may not be a great segue, but I remember the cocaine and everything that they were doing back in the 80s and the 90s.
No,
That's what I remember.
We remember the Cowboys when they were winning, and we know the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Oh, God. Okay? They have fun now.
Yeah, right. Shouts to the Cowboys. Keep winning.
Keep winning.
You got a question for?
yes, I wanted to ask about your real estate endeavors. How did it start for you? Where did everything kind of start?
My real estate endeavor started very young. I was working at the radio station. I got into the radio station when I was like literally still a teenager.
Right.
So I saw this house. Well, I saw an apartment and it was rented out by a realtor. She's like, you shouldn't be renting an apartment. You should buy it. I'm like, I am too young. And she's like, I just made my 19-year-old son buy a house. And so she helped facilitate me in getting my first little house, which is like what we call in Florida a patio home, which is kind of like a condo.
A condo. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got one of those. So it started very early. And then from there, just kind of been buying a little bit here, looking at things a little there. And then I just kind of been hovering. So now I'm ready for the next step. And
We
you
got
said
your
those
cover.
interest rates.
Yes.
But wait, what do we think about this? I heard somebody floating a 50-year mortgage.
They've been talking about it. I think it depends on how you're looking to play it. So we were actually talking about that yesterday. Someone said
Lifetime, though.
it is a lifetime gauge, but what you have to look at is it's a great way for some to be able to get in the door.
Mm.
But then also for a lot of people, and I can speak from personal experience, the first house that you buy is not the one that you're staying for the rest of your life, for the most part.
Right.
So the average, everybody stays in their house 5 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get in, you do what you need to do for a couple of years, and then you decide what you're going to do after that. I think, like I said, I think it's a great way to get in. And I think another way that you can kind of combat the 50-year thing or not think about it so much is let me send one extra payment a year,
Mm-hmm.
and that knocks some time off. So whether you say that
Upside down.
you won't be so upside down,
Right.
and once you're in there for like 5 to 6 years, you can decide what you're looking to do, because at that point you would have paid down part of the mortgage, you would have built some equity, some appreciation in the house.
Right.
Now when you take those two things together, you can say, you know what, now instead of me staying with this 50-year mortgage, I can now refinance myself either into a 30-year or I can refinance it to a 15 years. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about playing it without looking at it so much like this is a damn jail sentence.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought when I first heard it. I was like, not so much.
Yeah.
But there may be some good
There always has, I think, for anything that you look at, there always has to be an upside to it.
Yeah.
And I think with them stretching the payments longer, it makes it more affordable for you to be able to get in the door. And once you can get in the door, you have to now think, what's the long game? What's the end game for me? And once you can kind of figure that out in the beginning, it's like, okay, so I'll deal with this for a couple of years. And then at that point, like I said, depending on my money situation, if everything changes with my job or I start to bring in a little bit more money, I can put those things together, like I said, and then reduce it. Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that you can go about playing it.
Yeah, depending on the use case. So, some families and some people want to do the, generational wealth theme. So,
got you. So you pass it along.
right, exactly. So, that's another way to look at it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can play it. You can't, like I said, look at that big number and just say, you know what, I don't want to do anything. Let me sit back and wait until everything gets affordable. Because if
And will
whenever-
things be affordable?
that's what I've been saying to a lot of people. Because I have some of my clients that were looking back during the pandemic and should have bought something during the pandemic and didn't.
Don't even.
And the prices have gone up so much since then that it priced them out of the market.
But it was so hectic during the pandemic.
There was a lot going on.
It was so much. We didn't know. First off, we didn't know if we were going to live.
That's true. No, that's true. You're right.
And then when the housing market really was low and they had the really low interest rates, everybody was in. And you couldn't even put a bid in hardly because it just got snapped up right away. Yeah. So I try not to lament over the missed opportunities.
You can.
But looking forward, so what's next for real estate? Where can I go and what can we be doing as people?
I think just as people in general, you can look outside of the area that you live in. If you can afford to buy something in the area that you live in, then you do that. But if you can't, let's say if you live in New York or you live in Jersey, maybe you purchase something in Connecticut or you purchase something maybe in the next town over, and let that kind of help you decide what you're going to do. Because once you get an investment property, now you can say, you know what, let me buy this property, rehab it, refinance it, rehab it, clean it up, and then rent it. And then you can also basically do the same thing again. You can rinse and repeat. So once you do that, you grab, let's say 1 or 2 properties, let those start to pay for themselves. Then you can take some of that money that you have that's appreciating in some of those properties. Now let me take it and it'll help you buy whatever house that you're looking to get into. So there's a lot of different ways to play it.
Yeah.
You just have to really think, like I said, what is the end game? Because you have a lot of people who will say, you know what, the prices are so high now. I don't want to buy. I want to sit back and wait. But I say that to them, while you're waiting, you're still paying something. You're paying somebody's mortgage
You're absolutely right.
every single month.
You're absolutely right.
So I would rather pay my own. And again, the house that I live in, I didn't buy as an investment. I bought because I needed a place to live. And that's still not going to change. So deal with what you have to deal with that. And it makes everything else easier.
You can only control what you can control.
Right.
But as far as the future real estate, it's always been here. It's always going to be here. I think people just need to educate themselves more because, the stage you might be at or, might be looking to do something might not be the stage I'm at or I'm looking to do something. So, invest in, like I said, educating yourself more, just being more knowledgeable because if you're not going to do it, somebody else is going to do it. So, just making yourself more knowledgeable so you can make better moves and pivot.
I have a question.
Sure.
Because they always have all these programs for people who are new buyers, first-time buyers and all that.
Yeah.
What about folks who already have a property? Are there programs that we can look into? I'm asking for a friend and myself.
Oh, for a friend. Okay.
Yeah.
For your friend. Okay. Let's try to help out your friend. So let's say for argument's sake, if you already own a property, you can still buy another property. Let's say you don't have an FHA mortgage on the property that you currently own, which means that you haven't owned the property in the past 3 years. So you would still qualify for what they call FHA. So if you owned one, let's say in FHA, you can now buy another property doing the same thing under FHA and you can rent out the property that you currently own. So now you can still buy your next property with only putting down as little as 3.5%.
Wow.
So they do have some programs that are available. And NACA has a great program. They have a great program that they offer to a lot of people. So if you fit the criteria of what they're looking to do, that's also another way for you to be able to get into a house. And also there's certain programs that you would qualify for when it comes to down payment assistance programs. So there's a lot of different programs that are out there. So depending on what you're looking to do, once you reach out to either myself or my son, we can always guide you and, kind of give you a segue, give you, advice on what direction that we think that you should go in.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a lot of folks don't know. I was trying to bring Deja to Long Island. This was maybe about 20 years ago. It didn't quite work out. I tried. We looked at the houses. She wasn't really,
It wasn't quite where I was trying to be.
Didn't fit the HG.
I mean, but there were nice houses.
There were nice houses.
But I was doing something else. And the commute coming out from Long Island back to the city is crazy. Y'all think my hustle is crazy now from Jersey to the city.
Yeah. No, I know it can be a lot. But yeah, we definitely tried, folks. I didn't give up yet. Deja and I are talking some things off here.
I might get something on the other part of the island out east.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's easy.
Come on.
That's it. We got you. We got this covered.
Do it.
We got you covered. So with sneakers, since we're talking sneakers and real estate, are you a big sneakerhead?
I am not a name brand sneakerhead. I like sneakers with the sparkles. And you know what I've noticed?
The elegant sneakers?
Huh? Like dance?
Okay.
No, they're not dance, just regular.
Just regular.
They're
With sparkles.
cute,
Okay.
with sparkles.
Okay.
And I noticed that people are starting to get into that now.
Okay.
Ladies, come on, watch. I might even put out a sneaker line with some sparkles. You got to radiate sparkles
There you go.
as we're stepping, okay?
There you go.
Adidas, Reebok, y'all might want to get.
Holla at it.
The ladies are doing it. We try to
The Sister Girl 11s. Like, we need those right now.
Sister Girl 11s.
There you go.
Now it has a flow.
You see how that
Really? Yo,
Sister Girl 11. Somebody holla at it.
you're getting 10%. Let's do this.
Somebody holla at it.
No, but you know what? I want to try to get some of those fly sneakers, but my feet always look crazy. I don't think I have the swag to pull it off. So just put some sparkles on them.
Okay.
But if I were to go and get some real sneakers, like, you do your Adidas or whatever, where do I start as a beginner sneakerhead?
As a beginner.
Call me a sneaky.
You're a sneaky.
I'm a sneaky.
Okay. I mean, I would say start with some Jordan 1s. You can never go wrong with ones. You can either do the high tops or you can do some low tops.
I heard the kids call these the uncle shoes now.
No. They call the Air Force Ones Uncle shoes.
And then what's the difference?
Them UYNs that call the Air Force Ones. We're gonna talk about that later. Uptowns and white or whites. How dare they call those?
They don't want to go stomping in the Air Force One. Where's Nelly? What you did?
Right. Nelly, holla at us, man. We need you to come back.
All right, so something like that.
I would say a Jordan 1. I think it's a nice way to be.
Jordan 1.
Yeah, I think that's a good way. Yeah, either a low top or either a low top or high top.
Because I don't know. This is the.
Stanley, what would you say?
Jordan 3, maybe.
What does that look like?
It's like classy, classic.
It's a nice classy, yeah. And then you could throw some sparkles on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, maybe I'll work into it
No.
for 2026.
Let's
put it on
get
my
that
goal
going down.
list.
Let's get that going down. Nice. So what's a when it does come to sneakers, are you more you look for stuff for comfort or styling or what's you
Okay, I'm all about comfort. So I am a Brooks girl. I ran the marathon in Brooks.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
From 26.2 miles.
I
Maybe we
remember.
ride with Brooks. Okay, so I do Brooks.
Oh.
I like Hokas,
Okay, Hokas are really comfortable.
and now everybody has those shoes with the big things, and it's almost like you're rocking back and forth on them.
Yeah.
I kind of like it a little bit. At first, it's a challenge, but it actually works on the ladies' calf muscles. Okay, so when he's doing it works.
Calf
It works.
Okay.
No, but seriously, I kind of like those a little bit for the comfort level of it all. The Nikes that I tried that are sporty, I mean, for workout, they're kind of spongy. I don't know what they're called or whatever, but they're cute.
Well, they have a lot of cushion to it because if you're working out and you're doing your thing, even if you're someone that just kind of runs or jogs a little bit and you have a weight vest on, it's a good sneaker to have because you have a lot of cushion.
Springy.
Yeah, you have a lot of cushion, a lot of support behind it.
But I think back in the day, I was trying to work out in regular sneakers.
We tried. I did too. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
That's not how it goes, right? Not
When we're young, we try everything. Like, then not realizing what we're doing. And then you wake up, now you got sciatica. Yeah, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, onions and bunions and all kinds of soup feet, as my auntie calls it. But yeah.
Nice.
So how did you first get into sneakers? Was it just something that you grew into as you were becoming a young adult, and did you follow dad's footsteps?
I kind of got into it because growing up, it was 5 of us.
Mm.
So every sneaker that I wanted, my dad was not buying me.
Oh.
So, I tell him that I want Jordans. He wants to buy me the Jordan off days. He wants to buy me the sandals that Jordan wore. He didn't want to buy me the actual sneaker. So it didn't really work out the way I wanted to. So I think my love for sneaker kind of built up from there, where I say, you know what, when I start to work and I start to get my own money, now I can start to buy the stuff that I like.
Absolutely.
And that's just kind of where it started from. And then it just grew into what it is now, where I have 200 pairs. Yeah, I got a couple pairs.
Do you have like the whole case in the wall?
I have a room upstairs in the house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You know what?
it's bad.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
How often do you purchase new sneakers? Have you sold any?
I've sold some because I buy something that I don't like. I don't like, how they look, or I buy them and decide that I don't like them so much. So the sneaker game right now is still so crazy that you can have a pair of sneakers if it's a really sought after shoe that you can wear it a couple of times and still sell it for what you paid for it. A little more.
Yes, I've heard stories about kids making mad money selling sneakers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're making a lot of money.
Yo.
Yeah.
Got bought in the raffles and all sorts of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it that serious?
And it's getting serious. No more the overnight waits and lines aren't gonna cut it anymore.
What? So you have a whole raffle of these things?
Yeah, they'll get like bots to enter the raffles and things, and have like 100 entries.
Yeah, are
Get
you
a
for
bunch of-
real?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
How much would you spend? Okay, so we got money for a down payment. Would you take the down payment money to buy a specific collector's item? Or would you go and invest in the house? Can you get the same rate of return on your sneaker as you could with your house?
I mean, depending on the period of time that you're talking about when it comes to the house. You could. I mean, with sneakers, you can get a quicker rate of return if you buy it right. It's the same like when you're buying a property. If you're buying a property to rehab, or, to fix, if you buy it right in the beginning, then you will make money. Even with the amount of money that you put into it, you could even put in more than what you kind of budgeted for.
Mm-hmm.
You'll still end up being able to make money on it. So, it really depends. You just have to, kind of do your homework, and then you end up, you're buying an asset. You'll be
It's the asset for
assets. Yeah. Once you get the asset, everything else is easy.
Everything else is easy.
Yeah. Now, with your
Would you spend $15,000, $20,000 on a sneaker? I'm sure some have gone for higher than that,
Yeah.
right? These collector's items.
yeah, the Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. to him. There were a pair of Jordans that he made, the Jordan 3s and the 8s, that were selling for as much as $100,000 for 2 pairs of sneakers.
Yeah, y'all, I cannot. I'm gonna rock back and forth on that one.
Well-
Are you kidding me? Now, with that sneaker, do you wear it, or it just sits in a case in the house and be like, yo, I got the Kobe's?
Certain ones, that's it. I'm gonna wear them. I gotta wear my.
Would you wear it for real?
I mean, there's a pair of sneakers that I have that Jordan made that they only made 2,200 pairs, and I have a pair. I haven't worn yet, so for the exclusivity of it, I have it kind of just sitting there. But at some point, I will. I'll wear it.
Wow.
I'll wear it. Then
You might have to wear it because nobody's really gonna know unless
unless you wear it, you're gonna have to wear it.
And you can't really show it online and stuff too much because then people will be like,
Right.
let me see.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't.
Show me a location.
Right. I don't really want that.
Yeah.
With radio and with media, with everything that you're doing, do you remember where you were when you got the call to co-host Kelly and
Mark. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is the craziest story. So I was at my niece's birthday party in Tampa, Florida. It was like 11 o'clock at night. We had already had the party during the day. So I was checking my phone. I had a phone and I didn't have room in my storage. So I'm deleting stuff. Okay, delete. So I'm deleting. As I'm deleting, these messages are coming in, right?
Right.
And I see one from Live with Kelly and Mark on my thing. And I click it and it was a month prior.
No way.
Oh my God. It's 11 something and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I immediately respond. I'm talking to my sister. I'm like, girl, somebody from Kelly and Mark wants me to come and audition. It was Kelly and Ryan at the time because Ryan was still there.
Right.
Shouts to Seacrest. They want me to come and audition for voiceover or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was a month ago. And so I emailed them that night. As soon as I saw it,
Right.
I was flying out that morning to go back here.
Right.
By the time I got on the plane at 9 o'clock, I'd already gotten a response. And they were like, David, shouts. I said, David Mullen.
Shout out to David.
He was like, I thought you didn't like us. But I'm like, no, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
And so,
I had no story.
right. So
Crazy, Dave.
make sure you get the phone with the stores. Delete.
Crazy.
Anyway, so they had already filled up some of the audition slots. And I was like, well, listen, wherever you can fit me, if you can,
I
great.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it. It's just, I'm glad to be in the number.
And to know you're an adult. Right.
So he's like, okay, I'll put you in sometime in December. This is October. I
Mhm.
said, okay, cool. And evidently he was able to finagle some stuff. And so I got in for
Early.
November. November 16th was the first day that I went in to audition in 2020. He had seen me in my basement. So this is what I want to tell y'all too. Do what you do. Just do it as if. I was in my basement. Of course, it's pandemic. We know we're living or dying, whatever. I'm here eating all kinds of food, all fat.
Right.
But I had bought.
That looked like freeway. It was.
Well, I had an afro, a little crazy afro. I had the Florida Evans. Okay.
Florida.
James. But no,
That was a good time.
that was a good time. So, but what I had been doing was going live. And so I was going live and doing different things. I had invested in some equipment. My husband,
Nice.
ye of little faith, he did not believe me. He's like, why are you spending all this money on this camera? I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like
Gotta
I
have
do
faith,
it.
honey.
So I did it, bought the camera, got some lights and everything. Lo and behold, they saw me. David saw me. He said he was looking and searching and he saw me doing my little thing on my live in my basement. And so he was impressed by that. And they were like, okay, come in and audition. So I went in, auditioned the first day. I was a little nervous and scared and everything.
No problem.
But guess what? Somebody say what? What?
What, Dave?
I never left.
Real.
So what had happened was, sorry to all those people who had the auditions, they must have moved them somehow, and I just stayed. So, we're going to thank God.
Amen.
But for real, isn't that crazy? And it's just, it wasn't like I went looking for it either. And this is how I tell you, act as if you go ahead and mind your business, operate in your purpose, what you feel drawn to, what you feel like you need to impact the world with, do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, in my basement, if the camera had turned the other way, y'all would have seen how much of a hoarder I am, okay? But we keep it straight. Keep it steady. Invest in a good tripod. But no, that was my story. And so I have been there doing this. And it was just a blessing. It's been like such a career blessing because although I started when I was 9 years old, radio, I've been in radio for a minute. I've been doing what I've been doing for a minute. And
well, we've known each other almost 20 years.
Yes.
Forever.
But God still made a way for me to have a whole new extension, which is giving me a whole other vision of other things that I'm trying to do now. And it's just kind of put a new boot in. So I'm like, get out there, do it. Don't matter how long you've been doing whatever else it is. You can still have a new purpose or a new boost to your purpose for impact.
Well, I mean, they said that I think I was reading something the other day. They were talking about Samuel L. Jackson. I don't think He got his first role until he was 40, or he got fired at 40. And look at him now.
Look at him now. So many people, we always think that age is, oh, I'm too old to do this and that. You are not. I saw Ava DuVernay picked up her camera at 32. Colonel Sanders started his thing at 50 or whatever. The first Kentucky Fried Chicken, and y'all still eating that chicken. Okay, he's on, and you're still eating it. All right, and so it doesn't matter. I just read about a park ranger. She did something. I think she started as a park ranger at 80 and retired at 100.
God bless.
She's still living.
God bless her.
Okay.
Yeah, when my dad was going to, when he went to college, he was going to University of Buckingham. He said there was a lady that I think graduated, and she was 70 years old.
See?
So it's never too late, folks. Listen to Dave.
It's never too late.
You don't want
really have no expiration date. And it may not look the way you thought it was going to look. I thought when I first got into broadcasting back in the old school days, I was going to be like Deja Vu, NBC News, New York. But now I'm like, hey, what's going on?
He puts all spin on it.
Right. I couldn't even do the hardcore news. I thought I was going to be doing that kind of thing, but it went into radio and morphed into other things. And it's just been a blessing.
Amen. So that's what you wanted to do?
I wanted to do news. Yeah, I wanted to be out there. I was like, you look at the people on the news, and today's breaking news, so and so and so.
But you will.
But now I want to host game shows. I want to have my own platform, which I am building out my own platform, and being able to help other people facilitate and build their dreams.
Amen. Amen. Is that a question, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I know you said you want to do the media and the game shows and all that stuff. What's like the next main focus or next goal you have lined up?
The next goal is to be able to get the platform off the ground. Okay. So I want something similar to what we see with the streaming services, but I want to be able to help my peers who are in media and broadcasting to get some of their other things off the ground as well. So I want to do that, and people who have dreams of writing and maybe hosting their own show, maybe a podcast, they may be like, oh, I don't know how to really do this. Okay, I have connections. Let's see if we can make this work and put it on this platform and get it on out there. You just never know. I think right now is the time to seize, what did they say? Carpe diem, one of my favorites. Yes. Carpe diem, seize the day, seize this opportunity and make it happen.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did radio prepare you for TV?
Radio prepared me for TV in that we have to connect with our listener. Right. And the cool thing about radio is that we don't have anybody else in there writing stuff or telling us what to say. Right. We come off the top of our head, which kind of helps a little bit when you're on the air.
Oh, just freestyling a little bit.
Yes,
nice.
Freestyling. Nice. Now, I'm not the witty person that can come up with the jokes, but I can fill in some spots. I can always burst into song. And I can get you some bars, baby. You ain't ready for this.
Wow, okay. Sister Bella Letters with the bars. Y'all see what's going on.
That's what I'm saying, son. When I switch it up. But no. But radio also teaches you to be a chameleon. So if and when something should happen to the radio station, I can go from, yo, it's a hip hop to, hey, y'all, it's that country twang. We got it going on. And then I started in jazz radio, like on the weekends. Okay. It's the all jazz weekend on WXQL. Girl, listen, we got, wherever you go, I'm about to get that check. All right. So you need me to do this? I can do that as well.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah. Do you feel like is the hardest part, I guess, about media or just the space in general?
Right now, it's very challenging because everybody has a microphone. Everybody has a podcast. Everybody has a platform. And so it's more difficult before it was just us who had the mics. And then you had your actors, your artists, whatever. And then you had your radio personalities. We kind of had our own lane. Now the lanes are kind of blending and merging together. So that's a challenge where we are. But I think the thing that's going to differentiate you is to be able to stay on the cutting edge. Embrace the AI. No, we don't want it to take over and do my voice. No, we're not getting that. But I can use some of the tools within it to elevate and escalate my trajectory into the next realm of whatever it is going to look like. And so don't be afraid of it too. I know some people are hesitant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still am on the fence on some things, but then I'm like, oh, I can do this with AI and this could help me do that. So I think that's the challenge right now in trying to separate yourself, but don't get left behind.
Yeah, you got to get out of your comfort zone. I mean, AI is good in that you have some of the people who use it for bad. Like, I know that there was a real estate transaction that they were trying to do in Florida where they used a lady's face, her likeness, and trying to do it on Zoom. So when the lady wasn't moving, when they were asking her questions, that's when they realized that it really wasn't the owner. And they were about to sell her property. I'm not kidding you. In Florida. So you know, there's always a good and a bad with everything.
Right.
But we use the good, we embrace it as much as we can just to make ourselves a little bit better. And you know, you get used to doing things a certain way, but you just have to start to think outside the box, like you said,
Yeah.
and get outside your comfort zone.
Okay, I have a real estate question.
Talk to us.
Because we talked about it before. You guys were saying something about investing into like a rehabbing and all that and making it a different area. How do you determine where the area is going to be growing? Where do we see the growth? And if we have a house in one of those places and it hasn't turned over yet, how long do you keep that rental property?
If it's a rental property, for me, as long as the property is paying for itself, then you hold on to it, because there's so many different things that can happen within a period of a few months to a year. You know, let's say a corporation moves into that area and they take over, they build a hospital, they build a school there.
Yeah.
It changes the area and it can change the trajectory, you know, really, really quickly. So for me, I would say, as long as the property is cash flowing or it's paying for itself and you're making a little something on it, I personally would hold on to it and just kind of watch it. As long as the area is not declining,
Gotcha.
I personally would hold on to it. But like I said, that's just my take on it. When it comes to trying to figure out different areas, you can do a lot of research, but then you can also, there's one site called Bigger Pockets, which a lot of investors use. So you can go to that site and they have different areas. You have like A areas, B, C, D, and the A areas are like the, you know, creme de la creme. Then you have the B's and the C's and the D's. It'll show you the different areas that are starting to increase in value.
Wow.
So you can say, you know what, I know that that's going to be the next big thing. Let me try to see if I can get in somewhere.
Okay.
And you just kind of get in where you fit in and just start to build up what you're looking to do from there.
Nice.
So now you have a lot more information now than you did 23 years ago when I got into real estate.
Yeah.
You have a lot more information. You just have to really, you know, kind of take advantage of it as best as you can. And it'll help you, you know, grow. And having conversations, you know, you and I are going to be talking off air about a couple of things, but just having conversations with different people, you know, someone that's been in it for a while. And once they have an idea of what you're looking to do, they can guide you, you know, in that direction. So
That's what I'm talking
I believe just, you know, goes back to just educating yourself pretty much, like the base of what he's saying. But I would say as long as you buy at the right number, you always got to make sure your numbers are right, you know, no matter what. But as long as you buy right, you know, you always have money in the deal. You always walk away with something. So, you know, you always want to make sure your numbers are thorough, right, tell you.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
going back to real estate for a second, Deej, when we were talking, when you were buying the first property, you said, how did you know at that time that it was the right time for you to buy?
I didn't.
Oh.
I did not know. But the lady had confidence in me.
In you.
And it gave me confidence to
Nice.
say, I can afford this because
I can
she
do-
showed me that it was going
In
to,
comparison.
the mortgage was going to be the same as what the
Right.
rent was. And so everybody was like, what are you doing? And all my friends were like, what?
Right.
We're supposed to be getting these new apartments or whatever. I'm like, I'm buying a house.
Oh, no, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the crazy part was I only stayed in that house for like 6 months.
Sick.
And I still have it.
Okay, good.
But I moved because radio called. Radio was like, hey, we got a job offer. You want to come down here? I'm like, sure.
I'll be on the next flight smoking.
I'll be on the next flight. Now, that was a learning experience, too, in learning how to manage a property when you're not living there.
Right.
And
Absentee
in that state.
Right.
And so I went through the thing of trying to have family help me rent it out.
I know how that goes.
Love
That's a whole other story. I can tell that. I can tell you it's a...
Help me rent it out. I had family trying to live in it. No, the best thing for me was when I got a company.
management company.
A management company. I tell anybody, don't do it yourself. I don't want any parts of it because you know what? You got to pay the management company. That's not me.
Right.
I mean, you can apply, but I can't. You got.
They make the final decision, right?
Yes, it was
Well-
the best decision ever.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad that you don't regret it and you didn't use it or look at it in any negative light, because you know a lot of people, they'll buy a property and it doesn't work out for them, right? And they're like, you know what? I'm out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, when I tell people my story, when I bought my house, I got laid off a week after I closed on the house.
Are you serious?
So he was 2 months old. My daughter was 4 at the time. And that happened. And I had just gotten into the business. And this was my first year in real estate. I didn't sell any houses. So with those two things that happened, everybody is like, I don't even know what made you stay in. But like you said, from the grace of God,
Mm-hmm.
you say to yourself that it didn't work out here, but I know that there's a lot of other people doing the same thing, making money and actually being successful at it.
Absolutely.
I got to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
You had
23 years.
obstacles.
Right out the gate.
Out the gate.
Out the gate.
Where's your book?
The book is actually coming.
Okay.
The book is coming.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Get up in the hand and drop it down because that's
Built to close. The book is coming, folks. We're wrapping up. Yeah. Same. The book is coming.
Okay.
What would you say to someone that's looking to get into the radio space now? I know you had talked about before some of the things that you were doing when you were shooting down in your basement. What would you say to them? Where they're like, you know what, Deja, I've been doing this for 6 months, nothing has happened, no one is paying attention. I feel like just giving up and just going a different route.
I would say keep grinding. I would say have a plan B. That's something that you want to do that's not contingent on if you get this particular gig or if you accelerate at this particular time. But keep grinding in it and build up your social media. Love it or hate it or love it, it's here to stay. And I try and tell people who are of a certain demographic and they feel like, oh, I'm not just going to put up somebody, one of my close friends, I'm not even going to name her. She was like, people don't want to see what I'm eating. I said, it's not that anymore. You know, people used to put up pictures of their food.
Right.
I still take a picture of my coffee, sitting here drinking coffee, but it's more than that. And now, you know, we'll hear somebody's name, we'll Google them, but then we'll go and see if we can find them on social. To see what they're doing. That social proof is going to add to whatever it is you're doing. So if you're trying to build up your career in media or broadcasting, we need to see something. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of these jobs, these programmers at these stations, similar to the record labels, they don't want to do the heavy lifting of building out the artist anymore. They want you to already have a hit.
They have following, have something going on.
Have a following. You have to. And even if it's a small micro following that's, you know, maybe a couple hundred folks or whatever, show that you're doing something and make sure it's representative of you. Have your ghost account if you want to be crazy and ratchet, whatever.
Right.
But the one that people are going to be your name that's out there, they will be following and checking on you. I'm telling you this. I did another thing with ABC Audio, ABC Radio, prior to Kelly and Mark. And the guy who was the VP, shouts to Steve Jones, he said they had been researching me 6 months prior to even reaching out to me. They had been watching me to see what I was putting and posting and how I was conducting myself.
Is she consistent? Is she professional? You hear that one?
Exactly.
I love it.
So go ahead and keep doing it, planting the seeds. Have your crazy moments and everything too, but be sure to remember people are watching this and like it or not, they're going to judge you off of what they see.
100%.
But I was just acting crazy on that bar. Okay, well then you might have been crazy on that one. Put 5 more up where you're doing
Right.
something productive.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
What's up?
I love it. I love it. You got a question, Phil?
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's one thing you could change, let's say for argument's sake, if you were to restart, what would it be?
If I were to restart, what would I change? I don't know. I appreciate the lessons and the blessings.
Right.
In the middle of it, I was just a little wild. I will say that. I was crazy. I was out here. I was wild. So maybe not be as wild. I don't know. But I think I had the ability to just, I was able to, the mindset to say, I'm about to do this. I'm about to body this.
Yeah, I love
I really kind of wish I had that now a little more. I still have it, but you know, because life has been like, I'm a little more cynical. I'm a little more cynical, like whatever. But back then I was like driven. I'm still driven, but I didn't think about all the other consequences or anything else. But I don't think I would change really too much of anything.
Nice.
Maybe not as wild. Just like I had some time. You know, back in the day when we used to be clubbing, broadcasting live, and the bartenders will hook you up with the drinks. I was out there. Lord, thank God social media wasn't right then. Okay, it was coming along, but it wasn't all the way there. Thank God. But no, I think I like my story. I had a lot of craziness, but it has made me who I am. And it made me more appreciative because I know where I've been, you know?
Nice.
So I don't think I would change a thing.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I had a question for you.
Okay.
So when you worked at the other station, you worked at Power. When your mom came there to visit, there was an artist she wasn't impressed with. I don't know if you remember this and you could tell me who that artist was if we want to touch on that.
Was it T.I.?
Yes, it was.
It was T.I. Sorry, Tip. I love it. My mom,
She's not impressed with nothing, right?
My mom is not impressed with anything unless you're a Christian, okay?
Okay.
My mama is a pastor now, but she was really, but back then before, she was still, Ma, you can't do that to people.
Looking at that.
No,
Get around. Queen of the South. She ain't getting nothing about that, right?
Okay.
didn't care anything about it. My mom is a funny lady, but no, she did not care anything about. She doesn't care about that church stuff. Yes.
Okay.
Now, if my dad had been there, T.I., I used to be in the streets like that too. You know, my daddy would have been nabbing him up and everything.
I used to sound dope. He like that. I would have to be second. What do you
What are you
want?
talking about?
Right.
Okay.
But no, my daddy was in the streets though. But no, he too is a pastor now. So
Oh wow, he gave his life to. Okay.
yeah, so I'm surrounded by it, love it. But yeah, my mom was not impressed.
She wasn't impressed with the Queen of, King herself. Okay.
But yo, I love T.I.
Okay. We all love T.I. Who don't love T.I.? Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Question.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know you're looking to build out the the studio and have kind of people in and out.
Yeah.
Location wise, what would be your preference? Because I know you're out of state, Florida. What would be?
Yes. I would like to keep it in New York. Everybody comes through New York.
Yeah.
But after I get a New York branch started, maybe I can go to somewhere else and venture out to a place that maybe does not have as much access. And then I could be that conduit that brings them in.
This could be the hub.
Yes.
Nice.
This could be a hub, and I get somebody else there to help run, and I'm flying. I'm flying in tomorrow. Make sure my stuff is on point.
Nice. Nice.
No, but I can see vision with that, and that kind of excites me.
Yeah.
It stirs up something in me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Who's BDG?
Where'd you get all this stuff from? Who have you been talking to?
I've been doing some research, Days. I'm just trying to ask some questions. All right, love.
Back in the day, you remember Sex in the City and Carrie had Big? That was her husband, her man, right? So BDG was my man, blind date guy. He wasn't my man totally yet. That's my now husband. I called him blind date guy.
Okay.
Hi, hubby Lish.
What's up, hubby?
He knows he was BDG.
Okay.
Because, she didn't call, and Carrie on Sex in the City never said his name. We never knew his name. And so I was telling my friends, well, I'm not getting you his name until we for real.
Until you got real, right?
Right. So, yeah, he was just BDG, blind date guy. And I'm hanging out with BDG tonight.
Okay. So you kept it simple. Some nice, nice initials. Okay.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
I see you been all in my business.
I'm just trying to do some research, folks. We try to give the people what they want. We gotta let them see a whole nother side of Dage that you don't get.
About the hubby list. BDG and I met on a blind date. That's why he was called Blind Date Guy. And he stuck around as Pimperation would say, as our friend Dana Brown would say, he kept knocking down all those walls. Because he said I had all these walls up around me, and hubby would just knock them all down. So he got to my heart.
He wasn't going anywhere.
He wasn't going
He
anywhere.
saw what he wanted.
But baby, didn't he do good? Look at that.
He did.
Bling, blow. Come on.
Look like E.T. figure. Man.
Boy, now,
Say it.
and we are 14 years married. Isn't that crazy?
Congratulations.
From BDG to 14 years married.
I love it.
Gotta give it up.
I love it. We'll give it up to him.
Yes.
There was another question I wanted to ask you. So you were in a parking lot and you heard two people in the parking lot. I don't know what they said, what they did. You saw them or you heard something and you sped away?
I can't remember what this was. I can't remember.
Okay.
Where was I? What happened?
Okay.
No, tell me the story because I forgot. What did he say?
I just know it was D and it was Ed Lover. I don't know what.
And what happened? I can't remember.
I don't know if they said something to you, they yelled, and you must have peeled off, or I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Okay.
All I know is, so I used to work with Ed Lover and one of Femi's best friends, Pimperation, Skinny Pimp, Dana. But anyway, they always have these stories that he would be talking about how I'd be in my car, how I'd have French fries in the car because I had so much stuff. It was crazy. He'd fry an old cold fry. I don't remember that particular story.
Nice.
And then he said I was really gullible and that if a robber was trying to come in, I'd probably give him the hammer and break.
You would one of those. Come on, Dave.
But I'm not anymore because
surrounded. Toughened you up. Good. I love it.
Oh my gosh, y'all are funny.
I love it. I just had to, I had to get some players together. I had to.
Stop. Get your.
We need people to see the other side of Dave. What you guys don't see, what you don't see behind the scenes.
Oh Lord.
So I wanted to also give you your flowers. So me knowing you for almost 20 years,
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that come through the doors and people that you interview with. I personally know you as somebody that they look at as a safe space
Oh, thank you.
compared to some of your counterparts and what some of these other people do. Why has that always been, I guess, the direction that you've always gone in and have always kind of stayed in that lane?
It's interesting that you asked me that because I was talking to somebody about an interview that I did, and I was like, how come I don't get these other sound bites? People are more laid back with me than that other stuff because I don't put out that kind of energy.
You don't.
And I don't know how. I said, I wish I could, but I can't.
But that's not what you do.
It's something that won't allow me to get that way.
Yeah.
And I believe it's because this is my lane. This is who I am. When you're coming to me, I'm going to ask you some words of encouragement. I'm going to ask you to give me hustlers tips. I'm going to ask you something that's a little bit deep. We'll have fun, but I can't get into that ratchetosity.
Right.
Not that I don't like to hear about it and some other stuff, but for me, it's just not who I am. And I don't want to talk bad about this one doing that. I mean, I'll spill some tea and say, oh, I heard such and such. But,
Right.
but I feel
You keep it very...
I keep it PC.
Yes.
Because people are still people. And these are people that we interact with.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to see these folks. You know what I mean?
all day long.
And then again, you never know. I have my own drama. I have my own
You all
thought
do, right?
the day, right?
Right.
Crazy stories and stuff. And that'll be in my book. That'll be in the next book.
Yeah.
But no, I feel that I'm here for a purpose.
Right.
And I feel that that's just not who I am. And I have to be authentically me. And I think if I tried to do, say, like a Wendy Williams, Wendy was known for being really out there with
Right.
stories and interviews.
Right.
Even if I tried to do that, it just wouldn't even,
That's not you.
it's not me. It wouldn't even come off right. What are you talking about, Dej? It doesn't align with who I am.
Yeah.
I'll ask a little question or whatever. So are you dating so-and-so? I heard that such and such, but that's just this.
But you keep it very,
I
yeah,
can't.
still very...
I don't know what it is. I can't do
Yeah,
that.
you'll see people do it. You're like, hey, John, how's it going? So let's talk about your arrest. I just got out of Central Booking 20 minutes ago. Why did you? Yeah, like that.
I can be like, well, I heard there was some issue. What's going on? You want to talk about that? And then I feel like I need to pray with them afterwards. I mean, it's who I am, and I've learned to embrace that.
Embrace it, right.
And because a lot of those people who do all that steps to insight and all that, they're not even here. Some of those people who
It's true.
I've been around, I've been in this game a long time. And what happens is they start out and they have this big spark and then they fizzle out.
Yeah.
And you know who's still here? This girl, because I'm not doing that. I'm playing the long game.
Yes.
And, again, you want to inspire.
Yes.
You want to make an impact. You want to keep stuff going, but there's a way to do it,
All right.
I think. And that's just me. Yeah.
Well, listen, we appreciate you for that. And like I said, I wanted to give you your flowers because I know that this is something that you've been doing for a while. And, you remain consistent with what you do, with your brand, with who you are. And, going back to what you were talking about when the guy was watching you when you were filming, when you were doing what you were doing in the basement for 6 months, them seeing you being consistent, being exactly who you are and not trying to deviate from what you normally do.
Right.
Is what got you here, like you said. And by the grace of God, you're still here,
Exactly.
still doing what you're doing.
And just a word to people who are seeing so many things thrown at you. Rest in who you are and not in somebody else's gifting. And sometimes it's hard because you see somebody, well, dang, I could probably do that. But stay where you are. Yeah, you can do a little extension or whatever, but don't try and copy. Be comfortable with what you are. And even if that person has something that's similar to what you do already, you're like, well, I can do that too.
Right.
Maybe that's not meant for you at this moment. It doesn't mean it's not now, but be authentic to who you are and trust that process as you continue to grow.
Trust the process. Is there anything that you have that's coming up that you want to promote or talk about?
Not yet, but you can just follow the Deja Vu Show, official Deja Vu Show on all platforms. We are on our world global conquering mission right now. And I think in 2026, I am going to be doing a lot more motivational speaking, which is where I fall and do some of my things too. But I really want to zone in on that part.
Nice. You and me.
Yeah.
You and me, boo.
Okay.
We want to continue to.
What's happening?
No, that's easy. Let's do that.
Come on, let's do it.
We got to do real estate seminars. We got to keep educating the youth here.
People need to see. I mean, we see on the platform and the podcasts, but they need to see up close and personal too.
Agreed.
People that look just like them, that have gone through some things, that are around the same demographic.
Yes.
Oh, well, you're doing this. And we can be inspiring and inspirational to those people.
That's
And I think that's really what I'm here for.
That's what
Now, at this point in the career and life, it's about making that impact for real, right?
Agree.
I'm grinding, but what is going to happen afterwards? What will be said about me? Oh, she was always so and so. No, I want to make sure I align things that she lived a life that was a purpose, that helped somebody, that just wasn't just here.
Always
Space.
always insightful, always inspirational.
That's what I'm trying to
always
do.
pushing people to do better.
Now, every now and then you might get on my nerves and I might tell you a couple, 2, 3 things, but
Then she gets right back to it, folks. So
and then I'll be like, oh, y'all want something to eat? Okay.
Deja, again, you had a question?
Yeah, I was gonna say in 2025, I mean, going into 2026, do you feel like radio is not dead, but streaming and other stuff has taken over kind of?
Streaming has taken over a lot, but if you look at the numbers, radio still is dominant. People can say what they want to, but people still come back to radio. And then what happens in the times of all kinds of hurricanes and snowstorms and all that? What are you doing? You're turning on the radio. You're turning on the WFIC. We're still here. The streaming things might be down. Oh, is Twitter down? Oh, is Meta down? Whatever. Guess what's still on the air? The radio is still here, and we still play a viable role. Now, we have had to shift. And if you see now, you notice there are radio companies that actually fold in podcasts because people do that as well. They're listening and everything. So you have to adapt to what's going on. But I think radio still has a place. Now, I know a lot of younger people are like, I don't really listen to the radio. But then you ask them other things and they say, oh, I heard that on the radio, or so-and-so did whatever. And for people who are all about streaming and my stuff is on TikTok, radio pays more per spin, per stream and everything. I'm telling you, in comparison to the money. Your BMI, go talk to your record label and all that. But I'm telling you, you get more money for the dollar versus the streams.
Nice.
Because Spotify ain't paying you nothing.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. I hear that from the source. You hear from the
Like you said, do your
research.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's most of what we wanted to ask you. So again, Deja,
guys.
from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And whatever you need from us, you know that we're here to.
We tapping in for real.
We're here. We're here. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, 516-218-1605. And you can follow me on all platforms at Femi the Agent. Son?
You can reach out to me at Femi the Realtor on Instagram or 516-662-6824.
Thank you very much, folks. Have a great day and stay safe and blessed.